there were comments. I mean, I didn't. I have total faith in their ability to make a box.
To package stuff?
Yeah. I don't know that they're not secretly Amazon. What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Michael.
And we're here to talk about... Ooh,
What are you calling it now?
So, I want to say...
Spoilers from the beginning. We're doing spoilers. At this point, we're doing spoilers. Ain't no non-spoilers, so say whatever you want. But what do you want to call it?
I can't say Winter Falcon anymore because he's not a Falcon.
Winter America?
Winter Captain?
I don't know. Y'all in the chat, let us know
Ebony
what
and
we call
Ivory?
it. Yes.
I don't know what to call it.
We finally got to Ebony and
I don't
Ivory.
know what this show is. It took us 6 episodes, but I was going to do it.
Yes, I like that.
I honestly don't know because we saw at the end of the episode the actual, they changed the name. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what this show's called. And we don't even know if we're getting a season 2. But actually, is it a season 2?
So.
Because it's a new show.
It is.
So,
it needs to be because I got questions. So just out of the gate, what did you think of the episode? Was it everything you wanted?
It was and it wasn't.
Okay, so maybe we're on the same page because I thought I was going to be the downer on this one.
No, I don't think I'm not a downer. I had very high expectations because of. I mean, you said spoilers. I mean,
yeah,
that's just literally a spoiler.
Yeah, we got it.
So when you put the thumbnail up,
yeah.
So this happened.
Mm-hmm. It looks so good.
Oh yeah.
Tony and I were talking about it beforehand, but like talking about comics accurate, that suit and the costume designer props that look great.
Yeah. So I knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with it. My biggest problem so far is I didn't get. Well, I'll let you go because I have to process a few things.
So I thought you were going to be glowing, or not glowing, but you might be at the same pace I am. I enjoyed the episode overall. I enjoyed the series overall. This episode didn't wow me like I wanted it to, for sure.
Agreed.
I think everything that Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, did was great. Everything else was kind of like, eh. And I felt like a lot of stuff wasn't, like they rushed through stuff. Is U.S. Agent good or bad? I don't know. Did we forgive U.S. Agent for killing this dude? He got no type of consequences. Sharon Carter is a power broker. Fine. It wasn't, somebody else.
I will say
they set that up a little bit.
In the comments, I forget who it was, but somebody in the comments that I was discussing called this in episode 3 or 4. When Sharon Carter showed up, they were like, Sharon Carter could be the power broker. And I was like, eh. And I didn't poop. I don't think I poo-pooed it, but I was like, very astute observation.
Friend of the show, Whitney, also called it too. She texted me like, it's going to be her. Like, okay, so she's right. But
hold on. When did she text you? Did she text you after, like...
She hasn't seen the new episode
yet.
Okay. She texted me maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago with this thing.
Because
so it wasn't like she's like,
if you texted after the last episode, that ain't like we kind of figured it out.
No. She texted before that.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Oh, about the power broker. Her character motivation just seems like it switched from what we got in Civil War. I get that she is bitter for what America did to her. I get that. I feel like she is kind of straight up bad guy now, more in my opinion. And so you remember when we did WandaVision and I had a hot take about if it would be awesome if it tied into She-Hulk? Here's my new hot take.
What?
I want Sharon Carter to be a Skrull and this ties into Secret Invasion. And if that happens, I'm cool. Otherwise, I'm just like, that just seems like a 180 twist for her.
But this is the thing. This is what I will say. Mm-hmm. My biggest problem with this episode was not necessarily the motivations. We didn't get enough. Like they wanted to do like this huge reveal that Sharon Carter is the power broker, but you didn't set up that the power broker was somebody we should have been worried about until maybe episode 2 or 3. Once we got to
I don't think the name came up until episode 2.
Yeah, and so like that's one of those things. And then 2, you didn't give, and I said this in our earlier episodes. Somebody can go back and look because I'm not gonna do it. I'm just
either.
But I said we did not get enough of Sharon Carter. Yeah. When we first got the series, and you rightly so pointed out, stop going to IMDb and looking at episode numbers because when it first came out, everybody was in every episode. Every episode,
yeah. Not the case.
And Emily Van Camp
yeah.
was in every episode. And then she didn't show up until after they broke out Zemo, and I was like, I feel robbed because the way the trailer was presented, I got more Sharon Carter in my life, and I wanted more Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I agree with you. Her characterization wasn't handled well, and I again, that's the problem. That's the problem that I have with this show. Overall, certain times they'll like they call their shot. They're Babe Ruth and they're like center field. Click. I mean, just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
And then other times it falls a little flat with some of the dialogue and stuff. So like, perfect example. Every time Sam Wilson sits down with Isaiah Bradley, it's a very emotionally charged scene. I'm not saying I wanted that in every interaction, but I felt like there were certain characters that should have had that weight. Sure. And we did get a little bit of that weight between Carly and Sam.
Once.
And that's what I wanted between the two of them to set up. And this is another thing. I don't know how many times I got to read an article that says, who's the bad guy? And when you have that problem, that means you have the focus, you don't have a big bad. And that was the biggest problem with this show, when everybody was like, well, who is actually the bad guy? Yeah. Is it John Walker? Is it the Power Broker? Is it the Flag Smashers? And I think we worried about Sam so much, and they wanted to get that part right. It was to the detriment of everything else.
Going a little bit ahead, looking to Loki. So we've had 2 shows now where I think you could ask that question, who's the big bad? Because in WandaVision, it was kind of murking who the big bad was, I think.
And I don't mean big bad overall, like we knew everything was leading up to Thanos. I'm just talking about in these particular properties, who was manipulating or who was making these people. And that's the problem with these 2 shows.
Do we think there's going to be a big bad in Loki?
See, but this is the thing. I don't need a big bad for Loki's show to work, because Loki doesn't. His show is just basically about resetting time.
Okay.
That he messed up.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily. Loki's really the bad guy. So you don't need a big bad, but like the problem that I have with this show, and maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're looking at it as a different way than what Marvel's intending, and that these shows are just, you don't need a supreme villain for the hero to go up against.
Yeah.
This is just things that happen in their lives.
Yeah.
So, because we don't have villains, well, you probably don't. I have villains in my life. I really do. There are people who are out to destroy what my way of life and what I'm trying to do, especially sometimes here. So, and
I was waiting for it.
I will overcome all of you, like Thanos.
I feel like I'm an accomplice now.
Yeah, you're at least a witness.
I'm a witness to
They're
something.
definitely going to ask you some questions.
Great.
But no, and maybe that's how we're looking at this show the wrong way. And it could be that. So,
having said all that, I still enjoyed the show immensely.
Oh, man.
I love the show. It's just, I think the show did so much right, and there are a few things wrong that could have elevated it to be incredible. But it's still a good show overall.
I will say this. You talked about the comics accurate of the costume. I like the fact that I liked it. I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded if they would have premiered the suit at the end of the last episode. Him like actually wearing it, and then like he's like, let's get to work, that kind of thing. But
friend of the show, Avery, wanted that too.
They went right to it. Like they got like the episode started. You saw him flying.
You saw him like, is that it? That's it. Oh yeah. I think the action was really good overall. I feel like they saved the money for the first episode and the last episode in terms of the big action set pieces, and it worked overall.
This is the one thing that I will say, and what I have been waiting for, and what people don't understand how, and I'm gonna go on my little X-Men tangent just once, because I find like you're finally starting to see what Marvel's going to do with the X-Men because of how well they got this right. Okay. When you saw Sam Wilson assume the mantle of Captain America with the wings and the shield, now what I want you to imagine, Angel has his regular wings ripped off, and he has metal wings placed on him that move better than Sam Wilson's wings.
Cool.
With the idea that the wings, the blades of the wings, can operate almost independently to the point where
like Doc Ock arms or whatever?
Yes, and then the blades come off.
Okay.
Now imagine how dangerous that creature is, and you kind of get it. That's why a lot of people are like, is Archangel really a badass? And it's like, you saw how well Sam moved with these wings, and they weren't even they weren't a part of him.
Right.
Now imagine wings designed by one of the most diabolical mutants ever. That gave me hope for what the X-Men have in store, because when I saw Sam able to fly with the wings and use the shield, I was impressed. Like that,
as somebody who reads the comics, did it look like the comic had come to life to you?
It was better than the comics.
Okay,
because
cool.
you can't. The problem with the comics, it's a medium. You know,
it's still just a still image.
It's still a still image. You still have to flip the page. You still have to look at stuff.
Right.
The movement of his wings and the way they designed, and when the helicopter came down and he caught the dude, and then he was able to shield. That's amazing. The idea of the combat. He brings a different element. We've never seen that before. So kudos to Marvel for that.
Yeah. What are you about to say?
I agree with you. I don't know where we stand with John Walker.
That man got no consequences.
But
that dude killed somebody. Hey, you know what? You can be U.S. agent.
But
cool.
You know what?
And also, a thing that Tony brought up, Sam Wilson and Bucky seem to be so cool with this man after they just essentially tried to break his arm to get the shield back. And I'm like, you cool now. You got a fake shield so you can be with us.
But I'm going to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
Thinking about it, letting it process.
Uh-huh.
And when you remember the imagery of him killing that person and what it was and what it symbolized, how was that different than any day in America?
That's fine.
And what I say that to say...
But I don't know if I can credit Marvel Studios as making that choice on purpose. I think that's by accident, personally.
But I'm going to be honest with you. Is it?
I think it is.
Because this is the thing. He lost the mantle. He made a mistake. He was disowned literally by his country. Sure. And then another person showed up and was like, hey, you want a job? How is that different than any of these instances that we've seen? Okay. And I say that, and I preface this to say, at first I was like, what is going, how? And then I'm like, maybe that's what they intended. I don't know.
I don't think they did, but that's cool.
Because this is the thing. He's still U.S. agent. I mean, we saw basically him go from Captain America. He failed at that job, and he got to be U.S. agent. And we don't know who Contessa's working for.
And I wish we, for so many reasons, I wish coronavirus had never happened. We never had a pandemic. But I wish that didn't happen for the MCU, because we would have gotten Black Widow first, and it would be nice to have seen, if she is in that movie, we know more about who she is. Because right now,
what are motivations and who
all
she
I know
works
is
for?
That's Julie Louis-Dreyfus looking like a badass, but I don't know what your motivations are.
So I agree with you. That part of it, when I think about it more, the John Walker part, it's a little. Is it a happy accident, or did they plan it that way? Yeah. I don't know. I will say Sam Wilson's interaction with Isaiah Bradley. Somebody was cutting onions.
Okay. It was a good scene.
It really, the words matter. The words he said matter when he told Isaiah Bradley, we built this country. No one is going to tell us we can't fight for it. And I think that in and of itself was a powerful message. The ending, seeing Isaiah Bradley see himself finally recognized for his achievements, and not it was a generational thing. You see his grandson is able to see his granddad, who carried this weight, who essentially just did the same thing a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Captain America did, and the punishment he got for it. Right. That was handled 11 out of 10.
I think everything with Sam Wilson and Captain America, I really enjoyed all that stuff.
I will say that I have some questions about where we're going as far as what Bucky's future is. Because
you don't get with Sarah.
Well, no. What I say is, Bucky got pardoned. We know he was the Winter Soldier. We know he was controlled or whatever. But did you notice the difference when he was at wherever the place was? Soldiers and police were they knew who he was. Yeah. And like going forward, where does the White Wolf go, and where is he? Where is his role in all of this? Do him and Sam team up again? And I say that not just for the show, but for the characters going forward. Where do they go? We know that there's some type of future for them.
We talked about consequences for John Walker, but like, I'm happy that he's Captain America, but he and Bucky did break that dude out of prison. Are they gonna get any in trouble for that, or they was like, it's fine because he's back in prison?
Technically, Bucky broke him out, but
he's an accomplice.
Sam knew he was an accomplice after the fact.
Okay.
However, he did go back.
I guess.
And from what I understand, he didn't kill anybody.
I mean, he killed 4 flag smashers.
To get out of nope, that was his his manservant.
Okay.
That was his manservant Edward or whatever his name was.
Okay. I forgot who that guy was until they went to Bucky. I was like,
when
who was this old white guy?
I saw the gloves and I was like, dude. I was like, did nobody see this old man with white gloves? Like,
I was like, how did you set this up? And I kind of wish we had got a better explanation on how Zemo's operation works while he's in prison, because he can just seem to do anything you want while he's still in prison.
I'll be honest with you, I really like that idea. I like the idea that Zemo still has connections and is rich and is still able to do whatever he wants to do, in spite of.
What's up, Anakin?
I don't talk to him. In spite of his incarceration.
Sure.
I really like the fact that Zemo still has this reach. My only problem with it is that no one else seems to realize that he's
doing stuff?
Not just him, but the power broker. Like, there was no, like, once they talked about the power broker, and we literally see her in our face, they don't mention that there's this person out there. And what are we gonna do? Like, that kind of that idea that
maybe that's what season 2 is about.
And
if there is a season 2,
I don't know.
Yeah.
We nitpick about a lot of this, but I will say, finally, I got to see, and I want to give a shout out to, because I can't remember what her name is. I think it's Ellen, the young lady who plays Carly Morgenthau.
That was another person. I wish we'd gotten more with her instead of her just getting shot by Sharon. Because I enjoyed the actress and her portrayal. I just wish we'd gotten more with Carly Morgenthau.
Well, that and the thing that bothered me was
Erin
Kellyman.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really liked her as Enfys Nest for Solo. I thought she was one of the coolest things about Solo, outside of Donald Glover and as Lando, and
that might be it.
I think that's it.
That might be about it. The brief bit we got with Tandy Newton was nice.
You know, she's still alive in the comics.
Great.
That really upset me. I was I really expected her to show up at the end.
Yeah.
You know, like you're expecting something in a movie and it doesn't happen, and you're like,
yeah. And
you're mad at yourself because you're like, I should have just went along with the ride. And
yeah.
That really bothered me. But anyway, also I think her name is Thwandy, because remember she changed it. So we got to learn to pronounce that. Well, you learn and then you correct me. Anyway, okay. I really wanted more from her, and I finally got the motivation and the correct way of identifying them once they were captured.
When Sam was like,
Sam did a better
don't call
job.
them terrorists or whatever?
Sam did a better job of actually explaining who they were and what they were about. And maybe it just went over my head. Then 6 episodes of them running around.
Sure.
And that to me was a very big disservice to her and the Flag Smashers. This idea that they can be anyone, I like that. I wish that they would have done a better job of building that up.
So it seems like the Flag Smashers as a goal or as an ideal still exists.
Yes.
There are just no super soldier versions of them.
No.
Because they've all been killed.
Well, it seems to be that they've been killed.
Didn't they say there was one Flag Smasher who got away and they needed Sam's help?
Yeah.
So maybe there's one super soldier?
Well, there's the one that was in a helicopter. That was the one Sam threw in the water.
Okay, got it.
But what I will say is, and the thing that got me, and what I really enjoyed about the show was, they wrapped it up very nicely.
Yeah.
The show itself leaving. In other words, we know the story will continue. We know we have a U.S. agent now. Mm-hmm. We have a new Captain America and his white best friend, Bucky. Mm-hmm. We know Contessa's out there showing up, offering cards. And we know Sharon Carter is our bad guy for right now. Mm-hmm. Or a bad person for right now.
Yeah.
I liked it. I will give this 4.5 wings.
Okay.
Because I thought Sam, the way they did Sam, and the way they carried Isaiah's story, and the way the characterization of Bucky, that you could tell that's what the goal was, to make sure those three were handled well.
Okay.
Everybody else, poor Lamont.
Yeah.
Token one.
I'll give this 3.5 out of 5 broken fake Captain America shields. Mm. That's what I'll give it, because I enjoy it for sure. Everything involving Sam Wilson and Captain America was great and handled well, and I loved all the speeches he gave, and the fact that it maybe was a little on the nose that he was talking and the news cameras were capturing, but I enjoyed it, and I thought his performance was great, but all the other stuff was kind of like, I wish we got more time. And I don't know if there's a mandate that an episode can only be 48 minutes, but make it an hour and a half if you got enough material for it. I mean,
this is what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
And because Disney is a genius, mm-hmm. and I say this because they was someone sitting down in a room. We still have the pandemic. We have these variants out there. Let's say something like this happens again. We have seen Disney. We've seen not with Disney, but we have seen with our own network, CBS, Paramount. They took Star Trek, which was only supposed to be exclusive for CBS All Access app, and put it on TV.
Yeah.
So if the episodes are 48 minutes or 46 minutes, would you ever see in a heightened, I don't even know what you would call it.
Put it on ABC or something?
Yeah, And they do that with the intention of they could easily be an hour if we ever needed to, say, before the new Avengers movie comes out, mm-hmm. a 1 month or one whatever, we're going to show Winter Soldier.
Maybe.
And that's the only reason why I said it, because it seems a little too on the nose.
That could work.
That there are 48 to 40, something mm-hmm. like that. And the same thing with, now WandaVision, I don't know. But it seems to be, it's a little too easy. Because mm-hmm. like what we've seen, when you're on your own streaming service, you can go an hour and 6 minutes. You can go however long the story calls for.
Yeah.
So why 48 minutes? Why 46 minutes?
Yeah.
Seems a little too...
That could work. Anything else you want to
add? If you're looking for this, now this is the thing that I bring this up only because I'm in the past, and I blame people like Ike Perlmutter, who, not friend of the show, very much not a friend of the show, mm-hmm. Has been on the record, and there are others like him who have said things like black superheroes don't sell when it comes to toys or comics, or this idea that these entities are not for us, mm-hmm. And so this is still available. I'm trying to find it on Amazon. So there's this Artifacts Marvel Universe Captain America Sam Wilson. Literally since we've been doing this, it has changed price.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you look, see when we're in there's 89, mm-hmm. it was on 74. So there's one with him standing with the shield without the wings. I didn't buy that one. I bought this one. They're usually the ones that are from Dynamic Forces. Mm-hmm. They're usually about $60 to $70. Whenever you get this up, look out on Monday or next week, because we saw this with WandaVision. There's going to be new merchandise. So if you love this show, I'm not advocating it as far as like as an entity of Disney. I'm advocating it because this was the first time that I got to see a black man be Captain America, and I bought this. Yeah. I still love Steve Rogers. I love Sam Wilson as Falcon. I love him as Captain America. So I got this. They're going to probably be releasing images of the Marvel Legends, Sam Wilson with the wings, because we always have the Civil War Captain America Falcon exclusive, and you see how much that costs.
Yeah, 121.
Yeah. So I'm not looking to get him as Falcon. There's enough of those. I want to see him, and I buy those, and it's kind of like my PSA. I do buy action figures when I see someone like who looks like me, because I remember when there was none, and I remember the whole idea of, oh, this won't sell because black people don't buy toys, and I'm like,
right.
I feel like Will Smith.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout if you really like this show. These metrics are things they look at.
Sure.
I personally, again, I'm not advocating, but if you really like the show and you want to own certain things, be on the lookout. This stuff is going to probably come out from Hasbro Pulse. Some of them may be exclusive to certain retailers. So it's a hot property right now. If you see something, go out and buy it, because that they do look at those kind of things to say, when we make a show, what is the merchandise going to be? What is this going to look like? And that, unfortunately, sometimes determines whether or not we'll get a sequel,
right,
or whether or not we will get more things like this. Because I like Spider-Man, I like Peter Parker, I want more Miles Morales stuff. So when they release a Marvel Legends Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse, guess who bought one? Should have bought two. They're sold out now. But yeah, as you can see, where did he go? Isn't there another one around here?
Another Miles Morales?
Yeah. Oh, there's two Black Panthers. My bad. So yeah, so be on the lookout for some of that stuff. If you're looking, we're probably going to get, because you can go check my tweets. I used to pester Funko for a Falcon Captain America one, accurate with the comics, and we never got it. So now we'll probably get one. So we're going to start seeing a lot of that stuff. And I only bring it up because I know a lot of people have asked us about, like, when they'll see something on the show, they go, where did you get that? Where did you get that? So I'm letting you know now. Be on the lookout. Hasbro Pulse is having some type of event Monday. They're probably going to be releasing more of these action figures. There's going to probably be more. Look for these, I don't want to say retailers, but look for, I want to say, is it Toy Collector? I put it in the comments where you can look at where some of this stuff is coming out. Check out the Foosh. That's another good one. Foosh, he'll have a video up Saturday, and then another one following Saturday when all this stuff comes out. So that's it.
All right. He's done. I'm done. You can find us here on YouTube, also Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WOTX.com. Let us know what you thought of the show in the comments below, and what you hope to see in a possible season 2 as he flies around. Like, comment, subscribe, of course. Hit the little bell so when we put up new videos, you'll know when they come out. And we're out.
Deuces.